Hi, I'm Freddie Wallis, Key Account Manager for Caterer.com. I'm pleased to be catching up with Dan today about keeping in touch with teams during lockdown. Dan, thanks for your time today, and please feel free to introduce yourself, your company, and what you specialise in.
Yeah, so I work at Yo. I look after team comms and engagement. So I guess yeah, my role has become pretty crucial in the last few weeks in terms of keeping up the comms with our teams and trying to keep everyone engaged as much as we can.
Lovely. So first, we'll kind of dive straight into the questions. So before the crisis hit, roughly how many customer-facing employees did you guys have?
So yeah, before the crisis hit, across kind of 70 odd restaurants and 70 or so retail units, I think we had probably close to 1,800 team who had to move on to
Wow.
furlough with their kind of temporary cease to operations.
Okay. And now what sort of number is that looking like, given the kind of the changes in furloughs and stuff like that?
So yeah, nothing's really changed for us in the furlough kind of world. Everything still remains closed. I think we'd kind of looking to maybe get a handful of retail units open soon. Um, but apart from a handful of HQ team, probably about a dozen or so of us, the whole kind of support teams on furlough as well as all our operational teams.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, looking at the furloughed guys and keeping them updated and things like that, how are you guys managing to, keep everyone engaged and let everyone know what's going on?
Yeah, so we're doing as much as we can, Freddie. We've got a good kind of weekly plan. So every week we have a member of our exec team does what we call like a Yo takeover. So we have like an
Nice.
internal social media called Yo 360, which is it's a bit like a Facebook kind of Instagram, Twitter feed. So every week a different member of the exec takes over, and they kind of talk about their particular kind of fields and interests. So like one week we had like our finance director talking about financial well-being and money saving advice. This week we've got Vic who's coming on from the marketing team, so she's kind of leading with how we're going to kind of engage our guests in the kind of run up to a reopening.
Cool.
Last week we had a really interesting one, which was Dave, our commercial director, and comes into the retail world. So he was kind of covering all the kind of products and ranges we have in retail and a bit of licensing and branding, which I think the guys found really interesting. Um,
Brilliant.
we've been dovetailing this with some kind of coffee cake drop-in mornings. So we do three of these a week where myself and our HRD Ali and our UK restaurant MD Emma are on the call, so people can just like drop into a Zoom, and we try and keep it quite informal, do a bit of Q&A, keep people updated. And then we have a bit of fun and games through the week. We have a big company-wide quiz on a Friday, which gets way out of hand. A
Yeah.
big company Kahoot. And then we have a bit of
Love it.
fun house on a Wednesday afternoon with the guys who've got little ones at home. So if you've ever seen Pat Sharp running around trying to find things in the house, we've had people breaking eggs and some infrequent and little accidental nudity on the calls, but it's all been good fun.
Brilliant.
And then we wrap it all up. We do a weekly newsletter to our teams. So we've dusted off an old friend of the Yo Times and given it a revamp and pop that out every week for the teams. And that has kind of a bit of fun games, a few keywords from the exec, kind of useful links, and just hopefully keep everyone a little bit up to date of what we're up to.
Brilliant. So looking at that as well, across like the industry and socials, what have you guys done yourself to engage with the industry through this sort of challenging time?
So yeah, we've probably come as closer and closer to working with UK hospitality. So obviously UK hospitality has been spearheading the industry in terms of negotiations and lobbying the government. We've kind of developed relationships with the team behind Hospo Live as well.
Oh,
So we've
cool.
been directing our teams through there every day to kind of they've got some great from everything from yoga to industry Q&As to kind of live cook-alongs. So that's been good for our teams to have a chance to drop in on weekdays.
Yeah.
Uh, we're getting behind the kind of Hospo Union movement. So I think this is the guys behind the hashtag national break or kind of like national holiday for hospitality. So they're
Yeah.
really going even further with kind of pushing the furlough scheme and then that phased return of when we do no doubt return on a much reduced sales format, how we can kind of protect as many jobs as possible.
Okay.
And we've been working a lot with our training partners, trying to give people some kind of training modules and access at home. And we've kind of started quite a few apprenticeships with our apprenticeship providers in England and Scotland as well. So
Oh,
that's been
wow.
giving the guys a good opportunity to do some personal development.
Brilliant. And kind of moving on to mental health, and mental health and well-being is such a hot topic at the moment. There's so much advice out there, but what approach have you guys taken to address it on behalf of your team and everyone at Yo?
Yeah, so it's quite interesting, Freddie, because you picked a good time here with it being Mental Health Week coming up next week. So we're
Yes.
dovetailing Mental Health Awareness Week with Ali, who's our HRD, doing her takeover of all the kind of Yo internal channels next week.
Cool.
I mean, like we're not great kind of experts, and no one's a real mental health complete specialist at Yo, but we do have some good partnerships. So we've got a good range of mental health first aiders and champions in the business, many of whom are still working, which our teams can get into contact with.
Brilliant.
And we have our kind of quite unique Yo and You hub, which is where our teams access all their financial well-being and kind of mental health tools. So we work there to give the guys direct links to Mind in Minds, and we've got a whole range of information and modules on there people can exercise to kind of get the most out of their mental health and find some top tips and handy hints.
Lovely. That's quite a lot. That's brilliant. Looking at key takeaways, or even surprises from obviously the whole lockdown situation, is there anything that you guys have kind of picked up on, or you yourself have noted that you perhaps wouldn't have known outside of
Yeah,
lockdown?
I think we've all found out the big learning curve is we can probably all work a bit more at home more often. I think through the
Yes.
different mediums of Zooms and Blue Jeans and Microsoft Teams, all these other ranges of information, we've been able to kind of really do quite a lot of project work, interact. So I think the big find is, as a company, we'll probably save a lot of money on trains, hotels, and travel in terms of how our
Yeah.
support team can really be a bit more agile and mobile out and about up and down the country. And I think we'll find, can't give too much away. We've got some pretty interesting plans and hopefully a few surprises for our guests. But I know our IT teams, our ops teams are working on some really innovative tech for our restaurants, which would really change how we do things in the future.
Brilliant. I think okay. So we're also big fans of the kind of working from home aspect, and being able to have your meetings, business on the top, party on the bottom, so to speak. So you can wear your slippers and your tracksuit while you're doing your meetings,
Yeah,
which is
I've not
which is
been out of
brilliant.
swimming shorts for about 6 weeks now.
I
That's
love
all
it.
what's going on. I won't give you the honour of seeing those, but be rest assured, some lovely flamingo shorts on.
Good. So looking forward, what do you guys, or what do you think this means for the hospitality industry and casual dining, I suppose, for you guys? What do you
Yeah, I
think?
think it's really going to shake things up, Freddie. There's going to be. I think we all need to be aware that social distancing is really kind of here to stay.
Yeah.
And when we do get back to some kind of normality, some resumption of operations, it's going to be a completely different world to what we were used to. So I think we're going to see a lot of innovations, particularly in tech. I think there's going to be moves to be as contactless as possible, and I mean contactless from a kind of social interaction point of view in a lot of our restaurants. I think there'll be a big kind of focus on delivery, takeaway, and the kind of at-home experience market. So I'll be really kind of interested to see what our teams come up with in terms of our operations and market and IT teams working closer together than ever to pull together this new guest experience, what this will look like, and then how our team's going to operate these restaurants in this new world.
Cool. So do you envisage any drastic changes in trends moving forward?
Yeah, I think we'll see. I think one trend we will see is with the pubs and nightclubs and the bars probably being closed longer than restaurants. I would anticipate we'll probably see people maybe drinking a little bit more in restaurants
Yeah.
because people aren't going to be going on to pubs and clubs as so often. I guess just my hunch is we'll probably see younger people out more than the older generation. I think the younger
Yeah.
people are a bit more kind of risky, daring, a bit more gregarious to kind of get out there.
Yeah.
I think we'll see a big uplift in. I think I've already seen like Deliveroo numbers, takeaway numbers will be kind of come the norm of that kind of restaurant experience at home.
Yeah.
And I think we'll certainly see a bit of a dip potentially in lunchtime trade and the kind of lunchtime grab and go market with. I think working at home will become a lot more prevalent. So I think that will
Yeah.
change people's business models and the kind of treat times and when people do enjoy a restaurant experience, we become a little bit more unique and exclusive.
Cool. And then, I mean, the last question really, but what other, have you guys got any plans for the future? Specifically to do with Yo and processes and anything like that?
Yeah, we've got some pretty exciting plans. My lips are absolutely sealed because if I give anything away, the marketing team and the rest of the team will have my pants down and give me the third degree. But we've got it. Yeah, rest assured, we've got a few exciting plans coming.
Wonderful.
We're still kind of we just started opening our Panku brand in the Asda world.
Yes.
So we've still got a few new openings planned there. And we just kind of really got the wheels rolling on our Tesco business as well with our retail units in there. And I think we'll see some big changes to the restaurant estate in terms of kind of that tech bit around the experience. And I think there'll be new menus, new items, and lots for our guests to look forward to.
Brilliant. Okay. So Dan, that's it. Thank you very much for your time. Really interesting points there and a valuable insight to everyone listening. And guys, look out for more from caterer.com. Catch ups on our social media feed. We'll see you very soon. Thank you.